Hello everyone and welcome back to Monsters of the Past. As always, I'm your host Mr.G, and today I'm finishing up the Raptor quadrilogy. Unfortunately, Andrew didn't come today because he has a crippling fear of one of the animals we're talking about today ever since he got attacked by one of them after a time-traveling incident, but that's a story for another day. So, anyway, here are the remaining two raptors. Utahraptor and Dromaeosaurus. Utahraptor means thief from Utah, and was a member of the dromaeosaur family. It was a carnivore that lived during the early Cretaceous in North America. Utahraptor could reach lengths of more than 20 feet long, making it the biggest member of the dromaeosaur family. The discovery of Utahraptor was a very interesting one, as it was discovered very soon before the release of Jurassic Park, which notably featured raptors bigger than anyone's known at the time. But then out of nowhere, here comes Utahraptor, which was not only the biggest dromaeosaur, but it was also bigger than the raptors in Jurassic Park by a fair amount. In fact, one of the people who worked on the film said, "We made it, and then they discovered it." When Utahraptor was first discovered, it had the scientific name of Utahraptor spielbergi, in honor of the director of Jurassic Park, Steven Spielberg. But there were issues with that name, and they had to change it to Utahraptor ostomizi. Dromaeosaurus, meanwhile, means swift-running lizard. It was also a dromaeosaur, and it was also a carnivore that lived during the late Cretaceous in North America. Dromaeosaurs could reach about 6 feet in length, making it similar in size to Velociraptor. So, what can be said about Dromaeosaurus? No, really, what can be said about Dromaeosaurus? It's probably the least interesting animal in this entire series. There is literally nothing I could say about it that I didn't say about the other three raptors. I mean, just look at it. There is nothing special about it. It is nothing. It is the definition of a generic dinosaur. This thing's favorite foods would be vanilla ice cream and saltine crackers. This thing would wear blank white t-shirts and blue jeans. This thing watches soap operas on Netflix while eating unbuttered popcorn. That's how generic this thing is, and I refuse to dignify it any further. This pathetic, unspecial thing. Okay, now let's look at the cards before I get kidnapped by a dromaeosaur cult. You know, I cheered at the fact Mononicus had feathers because I thought that would be a sign that they would start giving the dinosaurs feathers from here on out. But no, here's Utahraptor, naked as always. Oh well. That's a point off, and just like the other two raptors, it claims the killing claws were for slashing when they were actually for stabbing. And also, there's the fact that it claims it's a pack hunter, which for Utahraptor is a very contentious claim, considering that unlike Deinonychus, which at least has some sort of evidence of pack hunting behavior, and Velociraptor, which due to its small size could probably have hunted in packs, there is literally nothing to suggest that Utahraptor hunted in packs, or that it would even need to. You realize how big Utahraptor was, right? I mean, it was bigger than or equal in size to most of the herbivores it lived with. Why would it need to hunt in packs in the first place? So overall, just like the other two, I give this raptor a 6 out of 10. Oh, look at that, another naked raptor. Yay, I'm so excited. Just like every other raptor, it claims its claws were used for slashing when they were used for stabbing. Why do I keep having to say this? And just like the other raptors, it makes claims of pack hunting behaviors, which is a very contentious belief that has almost no evidence whatsoever. Yeah, you know, I'm not even gonna talk about this any further. 6 out of 10. Why did they include Dromaeosaurus? It is probably the most like I just said, Dromaeosaurus is probably the most generic dinosaur ever. I defy you to find me a more generic dinosaur than this thing. Okay, time for pop culture appearances. Maybe they'll be a bit better. In the Jurassic Park franchise, Utahraptor has yet to appear in the movies, presumably because they don't want to overshadow Velociraptor, but it has appeared in some of the video games like Jurassic Park 3 Park Builder, Jurassic Park Builder for mobile devices, and Jurassic World the game. Interestingly enough, in Jurassic Park Builder they actually gave it feathers, which is admirable, although its skull is a bit off. If anything, it actually looks more like a scaled-up Velociraptor than an actual Utahraptor. It's weird. Utahraptors named Screech and Thud appear in one of the Land Before Time media. Utahraptor appears in Walking with Dinosaurs, where it's erroneously placed in Europe. And finally, Utah Raptor appears in the video game Ark Survival Evolved as a tameable animal, where, yeah, it's a feather mohawk. As for Dromaeosaurus, the only real appearance I could find of it was in the final episode of Walking with Dinosaurs, where it's erroneously placed as being a contemporary of T-Rex. That's all for this episode of Monsters of the Past. Join me next time when I talk about a rhino and an animal that looked like a rhino. Bye!